Hi everyone. So this doubt was asked by Sushravya. So she asked that what is ecosystem? So ecosystem is a community of living organisms in conjunction with non-living components in their environment interacting as a system. So if you see that how it goes, so you can understand it by a very simple thing. Ecosystem is like a group of many living organisms and many non-living components in their environment is a system. Like if you see in this picture, so over here you can see the producer is the plant and it gives food to the rabbit, and the rabbit is eaten by the wolf. So this is what is you can understand like this: if a living organism is dependent on a living organism or a non-living component, it is known as ecosystem. This wolf is dependent on the rabbit, and the rabbit is dependent on the rabbit is dependent on the plant, right? So if the rabbit is dependent on the plant, if the plant is not there, so the wolf will also not get, indirectly will not get its food, right? So it is dependent on the plant as well indirectly. Like we are also dependent on plants for food and oxygen, right? So that is also a part of the food chain, as human beings are also living organisms, right? So we are also living organisms, so we are also dependent on different creatures in this world, right? So if we move forward, so this thing which is happening over here is known as food chain. Like it is, the wolf is dependent on the rabbit for food, the rabbit is dependent on the plant for food. Okay, so if we see over here, so what is food chain? Now I told about food chain. What is food chain? So now food chain is a linear network or links. You can just it is a food web starting from the producer and ending at the apex predator species or decomposer species. Okay, so if you can see over here, so over here you can see this is the food chain, right? This is the food chain, and if we see over here, so over here we have our producer, which is the grass. Then we have our second primary consumer, which is the primary consumer. He or she is the first producer, so they are known as primary consumers. So the primary consumer is the grasshopper in this case, and the grasshopper, like the grass is eaten by grasshopper. Now grasshopper is eaten by a mice, the mice is eaten by a snake, and a snake is eaten by a hawk, and the hawk is finally decomposed and it is eaten by fungi. So that is what is it is eaten by fungi. So now that is the food chain. The grasshopper is dependent on the grass for food. Rattlesnake or snake is dependent on the mice for food. Okay, so he or she is dependent on a living or a non-living organism or component. Then it is known as food chain. Like if we are also in a food chain. If you can see, the grass is eaten by the grass is eaten by an animal. Like an animal is the grass is eaten by any goat. Okay, and the goat is eaten by us as meat, so we are indirectly consuming the grass, right? So that is the process, this process which is all happening over here is known as food chain. So yes, I hope you have understood what I have taught you, and thank you for seeing this video. Bye.